All right, former Republican mayor of New York, Michael Bloomberg, blasting fellow billionaire Donald Trump and calling for independent voters to throw their support behind Hillary Clinton. Independents, they could be the deciding factor in this election. So which candidate can nab their support? Is the Libertarian candidate, Gary Johnson, who's been rising in the polls, could he throw a wrench in things, kind of like Ross Perot did back in 1992? Joining me right now, our own Kennedy, host of Kennedy, along with Republican pollster Lee Carter. That was an interesting speech last night from Michael Bloomberg, Kennedy. He pointed out that he's from New York and he knows a con when he sees one. Among other things, very anti-Trump, but not so pro-Hillary.
No, it really wasn't. And there was so much vitriol. It was so vicious, and it's exactly the opposite of what the Democrats promised before this convention started. And if you're sitting at home and you don't really know who Michael Bloomberg is, you're just wondering, like, who's that angry old guy who hates Donald Trump? And, I get it. He's a rich guy. He's been in power. He was the mayor of New York City. He's got his name all over things, just like Donald Trump, and he probably feels entitled to some sort of presidential party nomination as
But they're putting him forward and kind of touting him as a big deal because, he can come in and get independent. He thought about running as an independent,
That's right.
chose not to because he was worried that, it could...
Yeah, I think it is
tough for Hillary.
I think it is a really big deal. I think that a lot of folks that I've spoken to ever since he did this last night said, I'm shocked that he came out on the DNC on the floor and went after Trump. And it was credible to people. It was authentic.
But they were shocked? He doesn't like Donald Trump.
I think they were shocked that he showed up here. I don't think that they were shocked that he's making comments about Donald Trump. I think they were shocked that he showed up on the stage
Why are
at
they
the DNC.
so shocked that he showed up here?
Yeah, the Republicans wouldn't put him on stage.
Right. Well, I think they look at it as an endorsement of Hillary Clinton, and they expected him not to do that.
He didn't run, which is important for her, but there are other folks out there, Jill Stein, Gary Johnson, that are running. The question is, who do they potentially take votes away from? Did they take them away, Kennedy, from Hillary, or do they take them from Trump?
Well, that's what makes this race so weird. When you factor in Johnson and Stein, the numbers tighten between Hillary and Donald, but they don't really change that much. It's hard to say because Donald Trump, if he is victorious, will have created one of the strangest political coalitions in history. Gary Johnson has attractive qualities to both parties. Marvin Bush just endorsed him, brother of Jeb Bush. There are also a lot of constitutional Democrats and limited government Democrats who are looking at someone like Gary Johnson, who's been talking about things like legalizing marijuana and rescheduling it and, basically letting people live their own lives. It's an attractive message. The Bernie supporters, the far left people who are much more invested in message than party, Jill Stein has now become wildly attractive to them.
So what does that mean for Hillary Clinton's chances then, Lee?
I think it really diminishes Hillary Clinton's chances because right now I think people are taking a second look after everything that's happened and they're not necessarily moving towards Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's numbers have sort of plateaued. We've seen Donald Trump's fluctuate up and down. Hers haven't. And so I think what we're seeing is that more and more people are reconsidering and they're looking at other people that is not Hillary Clinton, and that's not necessarily good for her.
Well, it's certainly fascinating. You mentioned this sort of realignment, total change, it seems, shift, seismic shift in the parties as we know them. I mean, all of a sudden, the Democrats are for globalization and the Republicans aren't. I mean, it's bizarre in so many ways, but I think this, Kennedy, might be the key to Trump's success if he wins, because he's going to pull in all those voters that feel disenfranchised and feel as though the Democratic Party just doesn't represent them anymore.
And I think it's the same with both parties. They don't understand. Republicans are hemorrhaging party members. They are. Many more people are becoming unaffiliated. And if Jill Stein only gets 3, 4, 5%, that's well within the margin of error of where Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are polling now.
Kennedy, Lee, thank you so much.